morning. I'm Alan Joins. I'm the mayor of the city of Winston-Salem, and we're delighted to be here this morning. These are kind of the fun events that we're getting to do here. We've had a bunch of groundbreakings in the past, so now we're circling back around and doing ribbon cuttings on projects that have been completed. What we're doing today, of course, is celebrating the completion of the Cedar Trail Greenway link that's a part of the bonds that were approved in 2014 by you. And we're very grateful for that. The citizens of Winston-Salem approved $139 million of bonds that the city has used for various projects all across the city, from public safety to transportation to parks and recreation and things of that nature. But today we're celebrating this Greenway connection, which will open up all the area around here to tie in to the Salem Muddy Creek Greenway, I was telling folks I used to live up on the hill here, and I would come down the hill, and Dan Bessie's joining us here as our council member. I come down and just walk this area before we put the trail in, so I know it's a very pretty location, and will certainly help to promote what we're trying to do here in the city, promote people to be active and to continue to enjoy the wonderful amenities that we have. And eventually, all these various greenways will be linked together so that you can have ways to walk throughout the community. So this morning, we're joined with a number of elected officials as well as staff and others. But right now, I'd like to present to you our Mayor Pro Tem, Councilmember Vivian H. Burke, for our comments.
Thank you. As I was coming out here, I said to Chris Mack, who helps me on a daily basis, it's so lovely. And I want you to know that I say to people, I represent the north, south, east, west. And some of my best friends live right over here on the western side of town. And when Robert Clark asked for certain things as far as the leaves that you all like to get your leaves picked up, I told the city manager we can pick his up every day because the citizens on the west side, they are so positive and so uplifting, and they carry a large revenue, and we appreciate that. I want you to know that I'm honored to be here and to be in the Great West Board, and to let the citizens of this board know that I pray that God will bless you as you carry out your walking responsibilities. Because now it's not cigarettes, it's sitting. So when we can get up and be examples for our children to walk, let them know they'll live longer. I used to climb 100 steps a day, and I'm probably one of the oldest citizens out here right now, and I can outrun some of you who are much younger. So I want to say God is good to this city, and we appreciate. And you've heard the comments that the mayor said, and all of us who are elected officials, we work to make this city a very peaceful, loving place. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Burke. Thank you, Councilmember Burke. The West Ward is represented by Councilmember Robert Clark, who was elected in 2001, been serving ever since, and Robert's been pushing for a number of recreational and other amenities in our community. We've got another ribbon cutting not too long, a little bit on Jameson Park. So let me present to you Councilmember Robert Clark.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I'll thank everyone for coming out today. 11 o'clock on a Friday is kind of an odd time, but I am amazed at the number that have come here, and thank you very much. And I've just felt a raindrop, so we're going to go real quick here. I have 3 children. They're all grown now, in their late 20s and early 30s, but I try to be a good father and raise them. And one of the traits I told them that you need to get along in life is perseverance. And if you ever want a better example of why you need to understand and adhere to that, is where we're standing here today. Folks, we have pushed this rock up the hill and it's rolled back down so many times. That's the Greek mythology of Sisyphus, who was punished in hell by being forced to roll a rock up to the top of the hill, and just before it got there, it would roll back down. We have had to jump numerous hurdles. I'm not going to go over all of them, but y'all have lived them with me. But we persevered. We never gave up, because I do think this is a wonderful addition. If you combine this trail with the sidewalks that we've added in the community up here, and you know where they are, but a lot of you can leave your home without walking too far. You'll hit a sidewalk. You can walk down here. You can walk. And this is what, 3/4 of a mile to the creek, something like that? 0.63. I was just rounding to the nearest quarter. But anyway, 0.63. And if you cross there and head south a little bit, you'll come to Jamison Park, which is another bond project, and there's some dog parks there, some restrooms there, some playing fields and things of that, and we're coordinating that with the two schools that are over there. So anyway, thank you, and I have worked with some of your neighborhood community folks out here. Thank you for helping us persevere through this, and it is a testament that you can't give up in life. You have to keep pushing it if you believe something, and we pushed that rock up, and we finally got it to the top, and we're here to celebrate it. Thank you very much.
Very good. Thank you, Robert. That's a good analogy for sure. Councilmember Dan Bessie represents the Southwest Ward and has been a continual supporter and pusher for greenway development, bikeway development in our community, and he's our resident runner on the council there. So, Dan Bessie, why don't you say a word, please?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Madam Mayor Pro Tem, Councilmember Clark. This is obviously not my home territory, but I appreciate being invited into the community to also speak in celebration of the project that that you're officially opening today, although I know it's been open for some time and you've been using it. As the mayor said, I'm a strong supporter of greenway projects around our entire city, and was very happy to support Councilmember Clark in his continuing push to get this one built and open for you. And I'm happy to be here for a couple other reasons too. One, this is an excellent example of how you connect neighborhoods to walking and healthy recreational opportunities, because this link here connects most of the New Sherwood area to the Muddy Creek Trail, probably the most popular single trail in our community for the past couple years in terms of volume of continuous use. And this is also a special project because it didn't come from us on the council at its start. It was initiated by neighborhood residents, and that makes it special. And that's what permitted it to push through to completion, the fact that it had strong neighborhood support through the inevitable turbulence that you get with any public project. So thank you, because I see folks here in the crowd who are responsible for that being done. Thank you for your efforts. Thank you for continuing to support an interconnected network of healthy recreational opportunities throughout our community. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Dan. So the city of Winston-Salem is governed by the council manager form of government. We have our city manager here, Lee Garrity, our assistant city manager, Greg Turner, who's been in charge of most of these projects. I see assistant manager Ben Ryle over here as well. The city also has a very active Parks and Recreation Commission, a group that the city council and I appoint that recommends policies and programs to the city council on recreational amenities. The chairman of that is Mr. Jim Conrad, and Mr. Conrad's with us today. And I'll ask him to make a couple of comments. Mr. Conrad.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is always a pleasure when you're asked by the city councilman to support them in their districts, and I'll be there to help out anyway. I see this is called Cedar Trail, but it's all called Health Trail, because this is what is mainly out here for, to help you in your endeavor being healthy. And if you lead your children to come with you, they'll be healthy in the long run. But I also like to say a few things too about who is responsible for this. Is this gentleman over here, Mr. Lee Garrett, and his staff are here. That I see a lot of times they don't get the credit that they do when we have these things on this kind of affair, but they've done a wonderful job. And I think it's another city councilman. Am I correct? No. Okay then.
Director of Parks and Recreation is here.
Right. All right. And I thank you, and enjoy your park. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Conrad. We do want to recognize the director of our Parks and Recreation Department, Mr. William Royster. Raise your hand, William. He's one who helped build this, and now he'll maintain it. So thank you. Sir, we have a very active bicycle program and within the city of Winston-Salem. We have our bike coordinator, Matthew Burzik, is with us today. So, Matthew, would you just say a quick word, please?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, everybody, for coming out today, and good morning. Let's see, lots of people to thank for this. Again, just kind of echoing some of the comments that have already been made. Certainly the residents, for your determination to see this trail through from the planning and the years it took to get to this point. So thank you. obviously our elected officials for their support of the general bicycle and pedestrian program and providing those active transportation options, and then the staff. There are a lot of planners and engineers who help plan these trails and identify the funding and do the design and the construction. So thank all of you. Councilmember Betsy mentioned the connections to the schools, and that's where my focus is on. With this trail connection, while it's only 0.6 of a mile long, the connectivity it provides to those schools is unparalleled. We have 2 elementary schools and 1 middle school on the Muddy Creek Greenway, and this trail opens up those schools to hundreds of households on this side of the creek. 40 years ago, about half of all students walked or biked to school. Today, that number is down to 1 in 8. And it's projects like this that will help reverse that trend and encourage more activity among students, which leads to better learning and better attention and better test scores. So thank you all for your help with this trail project, and enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you, Matthew. And Councilmember Burke would just remind me that one of our very first, if not the first, connections with the Bowen Park Greenway that connected up to Ashley Elementary School, right? So we're here to cut the ribbon and get out of the rain. So we're going to come up and do that, and then we'll be able to enjoy it.